Hey guys, Joe Colucci with the BaseballSwing.com taking a look at the latest New York Yankee, Juan Soto. How about that? Love this guy's swing. He's a really, really good hitter. He's got some good stuff going on and some stuff that's a little bit unique that I wanted to go over with you and point out, and hopefully it can help you. All right, so right off the get-go, Soto kind of leans back a little or slides back sideways. Careful, guys. When you do this, he's sliding back into a very squatted back leg, as he should be. If you just stand up while you're, moving back, that's going to be a problem. Make sure your head level doesn't do anything but sink or stay level while you slide. And the sliding's fine. A lot of great hitters did it. Bryce Harper's an example of a guy that does it great. So anyway, what I like about it too is not only is he maintaining that flex in his back leg or gaining more flex, he seems like his lateral motion is just kind of pulling that leg up in the air. So it becomes very natural and a reaction to the slide. Gets into toe touch. He's in a great position here. He's got the bat more or less slotted at this point, right? Meaning the barrel is kind of low. When he started at setup, the barrel was a little more up and down. And as he's moving back, he's going to use his hands and wrists to just kind of lower that bat barrel. So that's the way he elects to do it. Now, on the topic of slotting the bat, I do talk a lot about it. I'm going to get in front of the camera in the coming days or weeks and show you guys exactly what slotting is. And I'll show you a little bit about the nuances of it, the different ways to go about it, how to recognize it, how to drill it. Because it is a almost non-negotiable, very important part of the swing. And getting on plane early, and staying on plane throughout the pitch is an important thing. So we'll get to that. Anyway, so Soto gets into toe touch. His bat is pretty much slotted. The thing I like really, he slots in a unique way, right? So he did it with his hands and arms and wrists by just kind of lowering this bat barrel. That said, since he's already kind of slotted, it's very simple for him to take this elbow, which is now rearward, and as he goes into heel plant, he just points that elbow at the ground. So as he's moving forward and transferring weight, he's just taking that elbow from pointing backwards behind him, somewhere probably between the catcher and the dugout. He's just going to point it towards the ground. Okay? That lowers the hands in a position where now, if he were to hit a high pitch, he would keep all this bend in his left arm, and you wouldn't see a lot of that release. Belt high pitch or a normal high pitch, you're going to see that elbow start to unfold, and eventually you're going to get your forearm pointing kind of level to the ground out towards the pitcher's center field. If it were a lower pitch, you would see that elbow extend and point downwards. Again, higher pitch, he would keep a lot of that fold, and that forearm would be pointing up. So all stems on the fact that he got this on plane, pointed his elbow towards the ground. While he's doing that, he's rotating. His left arm is getting drawn into his left side, so he is connected. And then he goes ahead and rotates towards impact. And what he does a little unique that I think is really worth noting, just not really a teaching moment, just more or less this is kind of unique. So once this piping on a player's pants gets pointing towards the camera this late in the swing, usually about this point, the rotation of the lower body, the hips, the knees, the thighs, even the chest, it stops. The hands and arms take over at this point and disconnect from the body, swing out towards the ball. I get a feeling because he was a little bit, I think, early on this pitch, and he didn't want to be too early. By rotating, he's holding his hands back. Okay, so watch the piping on his pants. From here, you would think maybe the rotation would stop. But not only does he rotate into the ball, he rotates well after it. And once that rotation stops, you see the palm up here in the left hand like you guys all work on? Well, once the rotation stops, because his hands and arms are free and relaxed, the rollover happens. So if his rotation stopped back here, his hands and arms should start rolling over. The rollover or release of the hands and arms, where we go from palm up to palm down, that happens as a result of the body not rotating. And I know Soto's not manipulating anything here too, because once I see this rotation of his body stop, that's when the hand starts to turn over. Okay? So again, this is where he gets this great extension where the bat's in line with his left arm through impact, well through impact, past impact. He's not flipping it. So when I refer to flipping it, that means you just take it here with body rotation and just flip it over. Guys who hold it excessively, so say my body rotation stops here, and if I were to hold this, I have to manipulate now. I don't want to manipulate. I think Nolan Arenado is the guy that's really famous for kind of overemphasizing that. Now, again, he's addressing something that feels right to him. He probably had a tendency towards rolling over, and he wanted to stop that. And he's got his reasons for doing it. So I'm not questioning why Nolan Arenado does it. I'm just saying for most guys, if you're going to be free and loose in those hands and arms, which you kind of want to be, when that body stops rotating, let those forearms roll over, okay? And Soto does a great job of that. In fact, here, if you catch this, whatever's in his back pocket, this black pouch-looking thing, this will give you an idea from this impact position exactly. Watch that kind of how much rotation he's got going. So you can barely see it at this point, and then you almost fully see it here. And this is well after impact, right? So he really is continuing to rotate to the ball, through the ball. Again, it's not a teaching moment. It's not something I'm suggesting you do, but this is a way to hold the bat back from releasing if you sense you're early. Just continue to rotate, continue to let those arms unfold out towards the pitcher, and that will buy you some time so you're not too early. Okay, let's take a look quick at Soto's bat plane and how long he actually is in the zone. So drew a couple lines, and we got this top line, this, I guess it's green. That's where the ball is, right? And that's where the ball is going to continue to be. It's coming down at about 5.5 degrees. The second line below it is kind of where we want the bat barrel to be. So as we go through, and why we want it there means he's on plane. So he's virtually on plane here. Like he will hit it off the barrel, and this ball's behind him. So he's on plane very early. He does stay in the zone for a very, very long time. So he has all this area here to really barrel the ball and hit it solidly. Now, this is as long as you can be in the zone without using your arms as pistons or doing something, kooky. You don't want to manufacture this. You want to get on plane early. You want to, again, continue to rotate in through the ball and then just extend out. Now, one of the reasons he's able to stay on plane so long, too, is he's not swinging abruptly up. So, again, we mentioned this pitch is coming down at about 5.5 degrees. He's swinging up at roughly the same plane, and that's evidenced by this. His bat barrel is pretty much staying in line with the red line until well after the ball's gone, and then it works around and up. Okay? So this is something we really want to kind of strive for in our swings. Now, one of the other, as I get rid of these lines, things he does that indicates he's rotating well is watch the knees working together. So at this point, he says, all right, he knows where the ball is, I'm going to go, and then he's just going to go bang. And working those knees together is a great thing. It should happen naturally again, but it's something you guys want to look for in your swing. If you got to force it a little, or you want to play with it on the tee, take a little video of it and see what it looks like. Make sure everything else around it's going on. Otherwise, you're going to look like you're doing acrobats or acrobatic moves. Anyway, Soto does a great job of that. And you can see this even after impact we'll go, but let's get a little before it. You see his heel pointing straight backwards. Another indication he's continuing to rotate is you're going to start to see the bottom of his foot, right? And again, still palm up at this point, but the rotation is just stopped. Roll over, beautiful. A lot of good stuff in Soto's swing. It is unique, and his footwork when he takes pitches is unique. He's kind of a real character, which is fine. So I hope we pointed out a couple things today that might be helpful to you. Once again, Joe Colucci with thebaseballswing.com. Thanks for coming. Thanks for showing up. Please check out the website. We got some deals on lessons going on over there. If you want to send me your video, we can have a look and kind of figure out if it's worth working together or not. Once again, Joe Colucci, thebaseballswing.com, signing off.